Hello there, I'm Kyle Climans. I'm here on behalf of FilmSpeak, and I'm joined by the highly prolific and primetime Emmy Award-winning John Koyama, stunt coordinator on the hit series The Boys. Thank you very much for joining with me today.
Thank you for having me, Kyle. Appreciate it. Looking forward to it.
And congrats on your Emmy.
Thank you.
Just to start, Karen Fukuhara and Jack Quaid, they've both praised you for your teaching skills and for your devotion to making sure that everybody's comfort levels are met during stunt work. Now, aside from those, what else would you say are the most important elements to your job as a stunt coordinator?
Obviously, number one, first and foremost, is their safety. Everyone's safety, right? Like you got to keep, I always say, hey man, let's kick ass. Let's do some high quality, high octane stuff. But I need everyone to go home at night. Like let's get home safe. Then number one. So that's kind of the theme. Uh, yeah, those things for sure.
Now, your many credentials include superhero movies like Spider-Man and Batman Forever and Blade. Since you first started working in those movies up to now that you're doing The Boys, what's been some of the biggest changes to how stunts are carried out?
Wow, you brought up Batman Forever. It's Spider-Man. Yeah, that was back. Yeah, definitely performing days. Oh man, those were it's awesome, awesome experiences to work on those for sure, right? Superhero films and superhero genre, just like The Boys, obviously a little different. But I think the biggest change would probably be creativity and pre-vising. Wasn't really a thing then. Now it's you get the pages, you read them, you break them down. Like for me, the process here is then I create with a team and we literally create that scene. We shoot it exactly how we're going to shoot it on the day. And then that goes, then I meet up with Eric Kripke and Evan Goldberg, Michaela Starr, some of like whoever's in it. If Carl's in it, or Urban's in it, a Butcher, or Homelander, Ant, or somebody, then I meet with them and then we kind of go over all of it, right? And we refine it, tons of revisions, reshooting till we get to a point where this is exactly what we're going to shoot on the day. I'm talking everything from camera angles to the beats, the dialogue, everything. So that's very different than how it was before. That wasn't done before. So now that's kind of the process with the majority of big action shows and films. The teams do that. And to me, that is a big difference from before, for sure.
And I had to bring up Batman Forever because that was technically the first of your work that I ever saw.
Yeah, man, that was fun. That was Yeah, that was back when, you had a stunt department or scenes with, 30, 40, 50 people, stunt people in it, in background. Like that's unusual now to do that, right? And
Even on the show like The Boys?
yeah, that many stunt people. When we've had a couple sequences and scenes where it's like the riot, those couple riot scenes where we had 30 to 40 stunt people in it. And I can't give things away, but we've had, some bigger sequences, obviously in season 5 with some large numbers as well. But it's not the norm for sure. It's much smaller.
On that note, between the third and fourth seasons of the show, to avoid spoilers, which scene was the most challenging for you to pull off?
Oh, considering taking season 3 and 4 in account, or just four, season four.
Season 3 or 4, whichever one you want.
Okay,
Or if you
so
want to talk about both, then that's fine too.
I think there's so obviously season 3, Herogasm, that battle with Homelander and versus Soldier Boy, Butcher, and then eventually Huey and his in his lamping. That was a tough sequence to do. The finale, the VNN battle at the very end, the very last episode, that one was tough to do. Those two probably were the biggest for that season. And then season 4, obviously the Flatiron, episode 7 with Annie against Deep. And then you have Butcher against Black Noir. And then MM comes in with the 50 cal. And then you have A Train come in, zipping around, beating up Deep. I mean, there's a lot going on in that as well. That was tough. Splinter, all the naked guys. that that was really hard to do too, for obvious reasons. That was a difficult one, super technical. Like this show, man, it's awesome because Kripke writes, that team writes the craziest stuff. And you literally read it, and all of us do. The actors, all of us go, "Holy shit, how are we going to do this?" But we love it. So things like that for sure is always a oh shit moment, and it takes all it like nine like the Flatiron, for example, or the Splinter. I would say no less than 7 to 9 departments have to be, everybody's involved. The entire crew is involved, like literally. But behind the scenes, it takes 7 to 9, 10 departments
No doubt.
between stunts, VFX, special effects, props, set deck, construction. You know, it's it's just to get the prep going, let alone on the day, shoot it with the camera department and lighting, grips, all that. So we're shooting like little mini features every episode here. That's how much stuff we do in a season. So it's definitely challenging, man, but it's a blast.
Now, assuming that every new production teaches new lessons, what's the biggest lesson that you've learned from your work on The Boys?
I think a couple of things. Eric Kripke is a genius, straight up. He's a freaking genius. He really is. He's a mad. I call him the mad scientist. Like Kripke is the mad scientist. He's a genius. The amount of detail. I've been fortunate though, to be honest with you. People with detail. Vince Gilligan and Breaking Bad that talk about detail. Sam Catlin on Preacher, detail. Eric Kripke here, detail. Like, and obviously Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, who I do a ton of stuff with, super detailed. Like I've been lucky, but Kripke is so detailed when it comes to not doing stunts and action just to do it. He's a stickler on that and staying grounded, grounded, grounded. That's his main thing he tells everybody here, especially when it comes to action and stunts, because you can easily get crazy with a genre like superhero stuff, but especially with the boys, because with the boys, it's wide open. It is wide open. So you could get, you can lose that, right? With Kripke, I think one of the main things I learned was the investment of the character, the storytelling is always got to be first. It always has to be first. That drives the action and the stunts. Just don't do it to do it. That, and also in combination with, I've had to adjust the process in which myself and the team do things because of the amount or lack of time that you have in TV world to get giant sequences done. So being insanely efficient and not losing the quality or the safety doing that,
Right.
right? I think those two things are the main two things I learned and incorporated into our process doing The Boys.
What would you say is the most misunderstood aspect of your profession?
I think it's still to this day. I've been in it a long time, like 32, 33 years. More so back in the day, but even now, I think the misunderstood thing is we stunts in general are just like these daredevil, crazy, freaking guys and girls that just are, do things reckless, abandon, and just, crazy. It's completely the opposite. Like what we do is completely calculated. We try to limit any kind of danger and look for everything to do everything super calculated and as safe as possible. The object is to do things incredibly, awesome, but yet be able to do it, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, not once. Like we say, like anybody in our business in the stunt field say, like anybody can do anything once. Anybody, but it's the ability to be able to do it several times safely over and over again. That's the thing that I think is kind of misleading when you hear a stunts, you're like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
guys are crazy. They're daredevils. It's not that at all. So I think those are the things, that's one of the things that's misleading. I think everything else, lately, very fortunate for things like Fall Guy and those guys that done that. And, you know, the Wick movies and those guys, you know, they put stunts in a realm where it's more appreciated, right?
Mm.
We were kind of like, I feel like in a bunch of it, you know, I think everybody does, feels like you, for a while, we were just kind of overlooked, I guess you'd
For,
say.
for me,
Yeah.
it felt like the Mad Max films really, like Fury Road, really
Oh,
brought it
yeah.
to the fore for me when I
Oh
was
yeah,
watching it.
big time. Big time. Yes, big time. And by the way, one of my guys here did my key stunt rigging coordinator, Cameron Average, who's a genius. He's from Australia. He's involved with all those Mad Max shows. So I'll tell him you said that. Yeah, but I think, you know, just being more appreciated too now. The stunt community is very cool. And a lot of people are responsible for that. You know, it's pretty cool.
And rightly so. They should be acknowledged, like for especially for a show like The Boys. I mean, how often you're going to find someone who's going to be pushed by a 14-year-old into a distant building by mistake? I had to bring it up.
You did. Good. I like yes, yeah.
Well, listen, Mr. Koyama, thank you so much for your incredible work on this incredible show, and all the
Thank
best to you on your next endeavor.
thank you so much, Kyle. I appreciate it. It's great meeting you. Thank you.